We're here at the day after the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup in Manchester. It's really that calm after the storm. It's a pretty surreal feeling to be back here, winning last night, getting that whole shot and getting out in front to, yeah, stand down here and the show's over. Really amazing facility that they've got here. I think the Brits are spoilt to have this indoor facility and a whole cycling centre built around them. They get to train out of the wind and the elements and the rain and really put on a good show last night. Getting out and being able to walk on the track, I think that's one thing I've pulled from mountain biking and doing downhill. Doing a course walk is always very good to be able to see the ins and outs and what's on the track. Dropping in off the 8-metre start ramp, this track's actually one of the more challenging ones we've ever had. Coming up to this first lip, as you can see in person, it's a lot steeper and a lot closer to the start ramp. Generally, this transition we're able to put a pedal in, but this track we came down and there was no room for pedaling, no room for error. Landing off this first jump, coming into this step up, this was a challenge. This was one that had a nice big tabletop landing on the backside and it was a stretch. You really had to boost every time and remind yourself. So a little bit of a checklist I had coming down the first straight was hold, trying to get backside, and then boost. Yeah, this is a jump that'll eat you up. I couldn't get lazy with this one. Always lane 1 is that inside advantage on any track, but this track, if you actually stand on the start lane, the inside white line for this step up was in lane 3. So coming from lane 1, you had to really try and move across and open up and give yourself some room as the first straight dogleg for the first corner. Coming out of this first turn for the women, it's crucial to be able to get around the corner, cut down as hard as possible and make sure that we don't end up on the guys straight. Felicia Stencil on one of the motos, she pushed me wide, so I knew that I had made that mistake in one of the first rounds and ticked that off. I wasn't going to do that again. These lips now that we're hitting, as you can see, and they're almost like quarter pipes, and the sensation that you get when you come up to these jumps is you're almost trying to throw your chest into each jump. You're really trying to get down low, over the front, and squashing through these jumps. You're not trying to get too much air. Through every race over the weekend, I think I was more nervous about these last 2 straights than the first 2 straights. These rhythm sections are very pinned up, very lippy, very close together and very technical. So coming through here, it was basically the line for the women that I was doing was a pull up over this first roller, and then it was double, 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 virtually all the way through, trying to catch backside on every one. In the final, when I came through here, I was just saying to myself, backside, 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 you know, reminding myself so that I was on the ball and didn't let that mindset slip. And then coming into the last turn, it was that home straight, heading for the finish line. I could see that medal. You know, you've done all the work by then. You've put the effort in on the gate, you've got the whole shot, you've done the work around the track. By that point, you don't want to give it away. You're in the last straight, you can see it, you can feel it. The fans were cheering. My grandma was impressed and proud, and that was a lot of hometown support, you know, knowing that everyone in Australia was watching. By about this point in the last straight, you know, I got to here, could see the finish line. I knew that I'd won. I knew that I'd come into this race prepared. It was the first race of the World Cup season and I'd put in the work. It wasn't until I crossed the line that I actually remembered, oh yeah, we're getting equal prize money this weekend, which is the first time for women that we've been able to have that. Those steps to equality, and it's really fitting in with what I'm doing with Buchanan Next Gen and my team, and a huge passion of mine. We obviously never do it for the prize money, we do it for the love of it. Yeah, summing up the weekend, I think I wouldn't call it a perfect weekend. First 2 rounds, I felt like I was I was making a lot of mistakes that I shouldn't have, and took myself aside after the third round, had that little moment where focused on my breathing, came back to reality, went out there and executed a really good lap, had that perfect lap in the third round, fastest lane pick for the final, got that lane 1 inside advantage, and then executed the race. The greatest successes are when you have that challenge and you overcome it and you rise to that challenge. That's always so much sweeter than an easy win. Next stop will be Holland and a quick turnaround back to Australia for the National Championships.